Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, faculty members, and our dear students. A warm welcome to each of you for the Students Induction Program for the PGP MCMM batch of 2024-25 of MET Institute of Mass Media. It is an absolute honor to stand before you today as we embark on the new academic journey filled with aspirations, learning, and growth. To begin with, we would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed trustee, Pankaj Bhujbal sir, for gracing us with a presence today. Sir, your unwavering support and guidance continue to inspire and uplift the MET community. Thank you, sir, for being with us today. We are also immensely honored to have with us our distinguished Dean, Dr. Suvrishi Sarkar sir. Sir, your vision and leadership have been instrumental in shaping the future of our institution, and we look forward for your continued guidance. Today, as we are delighted to welcome our esteemed guests, whose presence adds great value to this occasion, we want to extend a very, very, very special thanks to Mr. Mohit Soni, sir. He is the CEO of Media and Entertainment Skill Council. I repeated the very 3 times is because he has flown all the way from Delhi just to be with all of us here today. Thank you, sir. Sir, your insights and expertise in media and entertainment sector are invaluable. We are also privileged to have with us here today Mr. Benedict Garett, whose contributions in the industry is exceptional. He is a British actor and is now gracing us in Bollywood, Tamil, and Marathi. We are also honored to have Mr. Amit Behl. He is a renowned actor and Honorary General Secretary of CINTAA and a Governing Council member of MESC. He has been the guiding light for many in the media industry. Ms. Ruchikaa Kapoor Sheikh, she is the director of Original Films Netflix and an illustrious alma of our institute who has made a remarkable stride in the industry. Welcome, ma'am. We are greatly honored with Mr. Bobby Pawar, former chairman and CCO of Havas Group, and he is known for his creative geniuses. Thank you, sir. Mr. Mahesh Chauhan, sir, the director of Salt Brand Solutions, whose innovative ideas have shaped the numerous brands. Thank you for being with us here today, sir. Your presence here today is a testament to your commitment to nurturing the next generation of media and communication professionals, and we are deeply grateful for your support. I would request Trustee Pankaj Bhujbal, sir, and our Dean Sarkar, sir, please, and all our dignitaries to please come forward for lighting of the lamp.
या ब्रह्माच्युत शंकर प्रभृतिभिर्देवैः सदा वन्दे
As we gather here to kickstart this induction program, we encourage our new batch of students to make the most of the opportunities that lie ahead. This program is designed to help you acclimate the dynamic world of mass media and communications, and we are confident that it will be a transformative experience for you all. Without further ado, I would now like to invite our Honorable Trustee, Pankaj Bhujbal sir, to kindly share a few words of wisdom with us.
Good morning, everyone. I welcome all the dignitaries, chief guest, principal, staff members, and our dear students. Yes, I would say that you have entered the MET family, so welcome to MET family. Why we say family? Because that is the relationship and the bonding with the students we have. And once you are in the family, then you are going to be the family member for the lifetime. Any help, any guidance, definitely we see to it that that is extended to you. Yes, briefly I will just, because you are the new students, briefly I will tell you about the Mumbai Educational Trust MET. It was founded in 1989 by our Honorable Chairman, Chagan Bhujbal ji. First institute we started in 1993, that was Diploma Pharmacy. Then next year we started with Degree Pharmacy and Management, which we call MMS. Later on, as we grew, we started adding up with the various courses, Information Technology, Masters in Computer Applications, MCA, then PGDM, and then with the mass media. In this campus, we have the Cambridge School from playgroup till 12th. And we have the undergraduate program, International Studies, which we call undergraduate program for the students after 12th. That is the after 12th you have the FIs and FI BCom, FI BA, and that is the, I would say, the pathway for the students who want to go abroad and also study. But the thing is, for the students who are not able to go there, or our parents are not able to, the expenses which occur over there are not able to do it. So that is a program where you can do the 2 years here and 1 year over there, or 1 year over here and 2 years abroad. That is the NCC program which we have, so you can get the admissions over there. All these things have been done over here. It is not only this campus we have, so then later on, 2005, we extended our campus in Nasik, in Adgaon. It is in the 50 acres of land. There we have the Polytechnic, Engineering, MCA, and then the Master's program, and recently we have started with the CBSE school. Yes, and one more extension of the institution was in Govardhan. I would say Govardhan, people may not know about it, but if I say that, yes, it is just besides the Sula wine. So everyone knows the Sula wine. So yeah, we were the first to take the place over there. And later on, they also came up and they saw the, environment over there, and they started with that. But yes, if you visit over there, so please do try to go to your institute. There we have started the College of Architecture. So you are also invited to see the campus over there. Our vision and mission had been to create the students with the best of the knowledge. That is why this mass media course itself is something unique course. It's not the general course which universities have. We have kept it flexible, so the curriculum could be upgraded as required, and that is why we started with this course. Yeah, and you will see most of the faculty members are from the industries who are coming here to give you the practical and theoretical knowledge also. That would help that will help you to upgrade yourself and what is going on in the industry. As you know, world is changing fast after COVID. The world has changed a lot. Like it has been more of a digital world now. So in every field you have the digital touch, and without that you can't excel. And those modules also we have brought into our curriculum. Yes, I am happy that one of alumni is over here, and I'm happy that she is here and to give her insight how her journey from MET to the industry had taken place. So that will give you the motivation, how and what to target and how to achieve that target. As I say that, before it used to, there was a saying that, jack of all and master of none. But I say that jack of, you have to be jack of all and master of one. And that is the essential requirement of the world. In any field you go, you have to be trained for it. And this course, that is why the first semester, if you'll see that the knowledge about all the, as you know, we have four specializations, like the advertising and PR, entertainment, journalism, and digital marketing. So in the first semester, we see to it that you are well versed with what are the things that you will be touched upon, all these specializations, and later on you can choose what is your dream. So you come to know, because I know many must have the dream, but really what goes into it, then you are not sure about it. And what is the education? So that is why we are going to give you the feel of it, and you will understand which is a liking, or you can excel in which specialization. So I would say that this is a journey which you have right now. From today onwards you are starting. Be focused. There is nothing that you cannot achieve, but yes, to achieve that, you have to strive hard for that. Give the 100% and above. Without that, nothing could be achieved. So here we are the facilitators. We will be providing with you with all the equipments and knowledge, but the thing is, it is up to you how much you grab it. You want more, our faculty members are ready to guide you. Anything you need, please let us know. We will definitely see to it that those things are provided to you. But the thing is, these 2 years, you will be focusing on your dream, and we will guide you to achieve those dreams. The only thing is religious dedication is needed. Spend more time in the college, college activities. As you know that many activities are there. Don't think that that is not essential to you, but whatever simulation games we have, various assignments you have to go through that. That will brush up your skills. So all those things are to brushing up your skills. I know you are the intelligent generation. So make her that intelligent more sharp as you can. And for those things, we are all ready for it. As you know, there's institution have given more university toppers. As you know, in B Pharmacy also we had the 3 times university topper. This year also we had. In school also, as it is a Cambridge school, and it competes with the Cambridge schools all over the world. So we had the maths topper, then the business study topper. That is the second or third time we are having that. In various fields also we are having the toppers. So we look forward that, yes, in the industry where you are going to flourish, you should be the topper. And for that, all the help needed, we will be providing to you. Yes, this campus is, I know all studies will make you very, I would say, strain your brains and make you lethargic. For those things, we have the recreation center on the 5th floor, so you can have some sports over there, table tennis, carom. And again, one more thing for the relaxation of the mind, we have the MWM, which is a music area where we have around 80,000 songs over there from all genres, from Western to classical, from all the languages we have. And again, if you want to try your hand on some of the instruments, yes, there will be the people guiding you. You can go through that. Karaoke singing also is available over there. You can be trained for that. So that thing is relaxation for your mind, as we know that you will be spending more time in the institution. So there should be something relaxation for your mind also, so you can groom yourself better. So all these things are available, and use those things most of the time, and see to it whatever the faculty members are going to advise you. So be attentive. Try to be in class. That is why we have created such an environment with the AC classroom. That was our vision of Honorable Chairman, that during that time, 89, 90 also, many students used to go for their education for abroad. So we had the survey and what was the reason, so that was the infrastructure. During our time, it was only the fans. Yeah. And so right now, then we started with providing the AC classroom, so we could see more of the students staying in the classroom. So that was easy for us to have the students and faculty members also. They were not bothered about, about the attendance. So those things are provided to you. So make best use of it. The ambience is great. Try to be in that environment. Definitely that will groom your caliber. And lastly, I would say that, yes, you are in Met family now, so best of luck for your future. Thank you.
Pankaj sir, I would request you to please stay on stage, while I would invite Sarkar sir to please join him to felicitate our guests. We would like to call Ruchikaa Kapoor Sheikh, Director of Original Films, Netflix. Mr. Mohit Soni, CEO, Media and Entertainment Skill Council. Mr. Benedict Garett, he's an actor and in OTT. Mr. Amit Behl, Honorary General Secretary, CINTAA, and a Governing Council member of MESC. Mr. Bobby Pawar, former Chairman and CCO, Havas Group. Mr. Mahesh Chauhan, Director, Salt Brand Solutions. Yeah. I would request all our guests to please come up on stage and take your places, please. You all can spread it out. Yeah. That's fine. We don't mind changing nameplates, so that's fine. It is my pleasure here today to introduce to you Dr. Suvrishi Sarkar, our esteemed Dean at MET Institute of Mass Media. Dr. Sarkar is a Mumbai-based marketing professional. He is an alumnus of Jamnalal Bajaj Institute of Management Studies and an executive alumnus of IMM Indore. In his 22 years of total work experience, he has 18 years of corporate work experience in internationally renowned organizations like Unilever, Shojits, Bajaj Electricals, Sahara India. His corporate work journey spanned from trainee to a VIP marketing. In his corporate experience, Dr. Sarkar has worked in India and Southeast Asian markets, with his area of work largely in strategic marketing, brand management, product management, design thinking, IPR, and market research, and media communications. Along with his corporate work, he has pursued his passion of teaching as a visiting faculty in several management institutes of repute, including his alma mater for 19 years. Dr. Sarkar has 4 postgraduates, and after his PhD in strategic marketing, he did his postdoctoral work, which marked the beginning of his journey in full-time academic teaching. He has trained over 4,000 plus MBAs and business management professionals so far. In MET, Dr. Sarkar teaches marketing management, brand management, design thinking, strategic management, IPR, and marketing research. He has also been an award winner in his career for most of his endeavors. Best student of the school, topper on post-graduation, Chairman's Award for Excellence in Marketing, 4 times Best Research Paper Award, Research Excellence Award, Academic Excellence Award, Startup Mentoring Award, Merit Award for Contribution in Academics and Research are just a few from his long list of accolades. He has one Indian and 1 German patent, 46 research papers, and 4 books as a result of his research work till now. He has traveled to 11 countries beyond India. He is a seasoned wildlife photographer. He also works with an NGO for nature conservation. Now, I would like you to invite our esteemed Dean, Dr. Suvrishi Sarkar, to kindly introduce the new batch. Sir, please take the floor.
Thank you very much, madam. That was quite an elaborate introduction of mine. Many on the dais know me personally, so good. Thank you very much. And I wish you all a very good morning, and it is a huge pleasure for me welcoming you all to MET Institute of Mass Media. Our dignitaries present on the stage just now, I thank you all for accepting our invitation to be here with us as a part of our inaugural ceremony of the Student Induction Program. I owe my gratitude, sincere gratitude to our trustees, Pankaj Bhujbal sir, Vishakha Bhujbal madam, for their continuous guidance, support, motivation, and help in all respects, because of which we are able to see this day in our institution today. It's a wonderful day for all of us. It's a marking of the first day of your professional career with your post-graduation happening. It's the first day. It's a big day for you, big day for all of us. It's the first day, not only just for you, but all for us as well.
First day of your post-graduation, first day of me being your dean in front of you, first day with Mash, Bobby, and Amit ji as a part of our academic board coming together. First day in associating with Mohit ji, Benedict, with a new plan of action that we have ahead. And of course, we have Ruchikaa here. We are very proud to have her as a star alumnus of this institution. And she has exemplified the kind of learning, the kind of education, the kind of career development that this institution has been able to value add into a student's life. She is a live example in front of you. I thank each one of you for taking admission in this institution and giving us the opportunity to value add into your career. We have taken this opportunity to commit ourselves that we would be value adding into your career, not just to make the future leaders of media business, but also great citizens of this country, because we believe in value-based education, ethical education, and we are here to transform your life starting from today. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. I would not take much of the time today morning to address to you, because I believe in the next 18 months to happen, I will have a million opportunities to address to you, to talk to you, and to interact to you. But there are a few key things which I would like to address. While you have given us the opportunity to value add into your career, you also need to work along with us. Primarily, there are important things to talk about. I would like each one of you to be with us, be with me, working on the 3P formula that we have for you. The 3P formula includes patience, perseverance, and a positive state of mind. Patience, because you need to learn continuously, but be patient to see your skill developing. While you start learning, the skill doesn't get developed on the first day. So give the time for the skill to develop while we value add into your skill development. Perseverance, you need to work hard continuously, along with us, working hard on you to achieve your goals, irrespective of the numerous difficulties, numerous hurdles that you will face on the way. Keep working hard. And the positive state of mind with which you gain confidence, you become the bold and confident person to achieve the objective that which you have come to this institute for. And we would commit ourselves to create the media business leaders of tomorrow out of you. I'm very sure, as I'm feeling very happy to meet you, address all of you, I see the next generation Bobby Pawar in one of you, the next generation Mahesh Chauhan in one of you, the next generation Amit Behl ji in one of you. And I'm very sure one of you is about to happen the Mohit Soni of tomorrow, take up a CEO position in a big profile media and entertainment institution of the government. Definitely one of you is going to be the Benedict Garett of tomorrow. Probably you're an Indian and going to value add into the UK's media and entertainment industry. And walk the path that Ruchikaa has exemplified in transforming herself from a student of MIT's Institute of Mass Media to becoming the director of original films at Netflix. I'm sure there is a Ruchikaa among you. It would be incomplete if I today do not thank our team of counselors and telecallers who first connected with you and brought you to this institution. I owe my thanks and give credit to my team who made your entrance exam possible, who contributed in creating the interview opportunity for you and make the admission round successful, and because of which you all are here in front of us. So the credit goes to all of them. So as I said, today is a very exciting day for me, for you all. It's a new beginning of your media career in the field of mass communication and media management. So I will not take much of the time. We are here more excited to listen to the eminent panel that we have here with us today morning. So I wish you all the best. I wish you a great learning and a great career building over the 18 months starting from today. Wish you all the best, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Sarkar. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to welcome Mr. Mohit Soni to our induction program. With over 2 decades of extensive experience in building up startups, fundraising, strategic alliance, business development, international collaborations, and finest brands we know in the media sector. Mohit sir has started his career in media industry as a graphic designer and established his first production studio at the age of 18 years. Acknowledged as the youngest CEO heading one of the largest media training ventures, Mohit sir is presently spearheading Media and Entertainment Sale Council as Chief Executive Officer. Taking forward the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister to make India the skill capital of the world, Mohit sir is working towards developing the national standards for creating a skilled workforce matching the global requirements. Understanding the potential of the media and entertainment industry and its contribution towards the economy, Mohit sir is dedicated to building a long-term relationships with his partners and always looks to identify and groom potential talent. He also aims to develop international partnerships with other countries to promote an exchange of ideas, knowledge, with ultimate aim of creating a strong, sustainable industry. Please join me in warmly welcoming Mohit sir.
Thank you, ma'am, for the introduction. In fact, I didn't know it's going to be so elaborated. Good morning, friends. I think it's good morning. It's good afternoon. Yeah, still good morning. Still good morning. 15 minutes to good afternoon. So, thank you for having me here. And so, sir, Amit sir, who have possibly been the people to drag me from Delhi to come here early in the morning. So don't mind me if I go out of my words, because I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I was confused whether I will get the flight at 6 or not, because Delhi, you know, is raining heavy. And this is the time when Delhi is at its best. You can drive. You can also pull in a now most of the days. So it's up to you. You know, you have a lot of fun in Delhi nowadays. You know, sometimes it's very Daravna for me to stand in front of the induction batches whenever I go to universities and colleges, because when I see you guys sitting in front of me, I go back and remember my days of college and how it all went on and how I was able to complete my graduation. So I still remember it. It was a tough time. Because from a very early stage in my class, 8th or 9th, I somehow got poisoned by my cousin's sister. She was staying in Canada. So she poisoned me by putting a flavor of graphic design in my blood. The moment that happened, I don't know, somehow I started liking computer. I started liking colors. And I thought, I know it all. So I went to my father and said, Daddy, I want to be a graphic designer. He was in railways. So we were from a small town called Gwalior in Madhya Pradesh. I don't know any of you know about Gwalior or not, but Gwalior is known as the Nagari of Mother of Scindia and the Scindia families. So when I went to him, it took him at least half an hour to understand what I was saying. Because he wanted me to say whether I would like to be an engineer or a doctor or I don't know, something else. But I knew my level. So it was class 12th sorry, class 10th. The results were supposed to be out, and the brilliant minds were supposed to get science, who were above 60% bracket. Trust me, I prayed all day in, day out to get less than 60%. And God blessed me. You know, I got 59.8. So I was thrown in commerce. I knew because it would have taken me years to complete class 12th, trust me, if I would have been in science. So I knew my level, as I said. And my parent knew it, that he's not going to make it to like his big B's who wants to prepare for IAS and all those glamour words. So when I told him about graphic designing, it took 1 hour for him to come back. And after 1 hour, I remember it was a slap on my face, saying I have talked to a few of my friends and they don't understand what this line is. So I took a lot of time to convince him. It took me 1 year to convince him. But trust me, in 1998, when I started my own studio, when I was in class 12th, I got an investor to fund me on my very different idea. So he funded me with 2 lakh rupees to start up a studio in Gwalior. We started doing a lot of graphic design projects. We started doing a lot of, not graphic design, that time it was photo editing. So we started doing a lot of photo editing. And trust me, the best time of business for me was Shraddhs. Because I used to get the maximum photographs by sons and daughters of their parents to be converted from black and white to colored. That was the best time. The most money-milking time. So while people were in the sad phase, I was earning good. We started expanding. We started taking up a lot of animation projects, a lot of not so-called visual projects that time, but a lot of special effects projects. And I think that time the churnout of the people was very less who understood this sector. But trust me, from there to here, what I've seen is a massive difference. A massive difference in terms of the way this industry has shaped up. We have come out of those big, huge television boxes to the smart handheld devices in your hands right now. And so has the industry. When I look at it from the perspective of what this industry was 10 years or 15 years from now, and when we look at it now, trust me, it's a massive difference. But trust me, guys, this industry is one of the most evolving sector. And a program which you are in right now, out of 1,000 plus universities in the country, around 317 universities offer a program in mass communication and journalism. I would have visited nothing less than 100 plus universities over the last 7 years of my tenure in the council. One thing which I really realized, if you want to go in and be a professional, trust me, you need professionals to come in and train you. I remember once I had an opportunity to build up a new product in Kota, Rajasthan. Do you know Kota? I'm sure all of you would have seen Kota Factory on Netflix. So Kota is known as the Makkah Madina of IIT JEE. So in Kota, one student asked one of my trainers, "Did you crack IIT? You're teaching me to be an IITian. Did you crack IIT?" And I knew the answer. The trainer was never even appearing for IIT exam. So I think it's wonderful to see so brilliant people sitting here on the dais and so eminent personalities who are going to be training you on this industry. Because I believe thoroughly that somebody who has done it will be the best to train you in the line you want to be. And as I said, it's an evolving industry, it's an evolving sector. What is being taught to you in the class will certainly matter a lot. But trust me, what you will learn outside the class will matter the most. And if you have seriously taken this career to build up yourself in the mass communication or in the media industry, my only say to you is keep yourself updated. I have seen the best of the talent going down because they were not able to keep up to the technological aspects. And in this world of AI, virtual production, augmented virtual reality, extended realities, and so on, what is going to come up in the Gimfi's graph, please go through and look at it. The next 3 years, 5 years is going to be a real difference in what we see today. I got an opportunity to go to Gurgaon to see one of the car museums. And trust me, when I was seeing a Chevrolet there, which was just 60 years old, I could not believe that this car is 60 years old looking at the model we have today of the car. So I think it's a time when you guys need to be much more doing than what is being taught to you. And I believe the industry really needs you. And if I'm not mistaken, this program is called Media Management. Yeah? Media Management. So when I say media management, I don't know what holistically it will cover. But if this media management is the term which I have to really look at, I think that's the best professionals we want today. The reason is we know media is going everywhere and anywhere today. Whether it is mass communication, whether it is journalism, whether it is advertising, whether it is gaming. And we really need professionals to come in and give it a new direction. See, our country is known as IT country. We have been lucky to be one of the biggest service industries in the world. But trust me, it's the most saddest of the part. Because when I look and go back and look at our industry today, in particular our industry has been, apart from some of the beautiful movies which we have done in this country, we have been working primarily as a service component. 90% of the work coming from US, UK or Australia is done in India. But we don't get the credit for it. You see Lion King, but we do it, but we don't get the credit for it. So I think it's time when you come out of the shell of being an employee. It's the time when you think of being an entrepreneur. Think of showcasing your real stories. Think of creating an IP for your country. It's worth buying 500 rupees Disney box, but it's also worth buying 500 rupees Chota Bheem and Bal Bheem. Because that's our culture, that's our story, and we need to tell the world about it. So I think it's a good opportunity for all of you guys to start thinking as an entrepreneur. And trust me, we are so-called CEOs of the industries, but we are all employees. And we have never been able to break the bracket of being a difference from a CEO to a chairman. Because we believe in our blood there is something which is called employment. We must have built brands, but those brands have not earned us. We have created those brands. I think it's time when I also in my life may like to break that league of being an employee and become an entrepreneur. So my wish, most of the people here should aim to be an entrepreneur and employ more people. Don't become the CEOs, become the chairmen of those companies which you wish to be. I think that will make a big difference, not just for you, but even for the entire country. So I think that's all I have got to say for you. I don't have a subject matter expertise. As I said, I know my level. I know of 59.8% difference between 60%. So I will not go into those details where I may be hanged out, but I'm open for questions until unless they are not driven with some intellectual rights and some big technical know-hows. Whatever I could answer, I would be more than happy to answer later in the time of the day. But as a council, I would be more than happy to come across, and from the part of the government, the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, all I can commit you is India is going to be the next wave of skill capital for the world. And that's the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister. We have come out of that bracket where Indians are merely looked as laborers going to Kuwait or to any other part of the country and working there. We have broken that league. Trust me, today most of the Indians, after getting skilled in the country, are working internationally on a very high repute of candidature. So I think it's a good time, and if possible, we will associate together and see if we could offer you a certification which can map into the NSQF progression and also give you something which can be of national importance. So trust me, whatever is required from the perspective of serving this country under the Skill Council, we will be more than happy to do it. And it'll be glad, for me to see some of you going out and becoming the biggies of the world. And we talk about some of them sitting here. So I think most of you should be there. Most of you should be aiming at something like that and make institution proud, make your country proud. And that's all I have to say. Thank you guys. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you, Mohit sir. That was indeed enlightening. And now, particularly, I'm delighted to welcome the talented and dashing Mr. Benedict Garett. Mr. Benedict Garett, born in Wellingborough, England, Benedict's journey into the world of performing arts began at a very young age. After dabbling in amateur dramatics and in his village theatre group, his professional acting career took off just 14 years with a role in musical theatre production, The Sound of Music, at the Royal Theatre, Northampton. Though he chose to study politics in University of London, Benedict's passion for acting never waned. He skillfully balanced his academic pursuits and various day jobs with his enduring love for musical theatre. In February 22, Benedict made his significant move to Mumbai, where he has since dedicated himself almost exclusively to working in films and in OTT as an actor. His impressive portfolio boasts roles over 25 Hindi, Tamil, and Marathi productions, including notable films such as Jawan, Ae Watan Mere Watan, The Kerala Story, The Railwaymen, and the recently released Auro Mein Kya Dum Tha. Benedict's versatility and talent have also earned him a place in the popular Netflix series Ye Kali Kali Aankhein Season 2. And he is set to begin shooting for his first Kannada production in Bangalore in the coming days. Mr. Garett's remarkable journey and achievements serve an inspiration to all of us, exemplifying the rewards of dedication, passion, and resilience. We are truly honored to have him here today to share his experiences and insights with us. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Mr. Benedict Garett.
Well, thank you very much for that lovely intro. I'm just got my clock in front of me to make sure I don't overrun. Yeah, my name is Benedict, but I will just say where I live, everybody calls me Bendy. I know Benedict is a bit of a mouthful, so if you want to stop me in the corridors at any point, you can say, hey, Bendy, Bendy. So that's fine as well. I want to say, first of all, I'll try not to speak too quickly as well. I need to slow down. First of all, I want to say congratulations to all of you in taking your first steps in your future careers. How many of you have shifted here from outside of Mumbai? Anybody? Oh, quite a few of you. Okay, well, Mumbai mein swagata hai. It really is quite a... having been a foreigner moved to Mumbai, it's quite an experience. Takes some getting used to, but it's a very rewarding place and the vibe here is wonderful. I hate leaving Mumbai now, as stressful as it is for me sometimes. I also want to say, yes, thank you very much, incredibly, for inviting me here. It's enormously humbling to be here today for numerous reasons. First of all, to be amongst these very eminent individuals with, from very impressive resumes and backgrounds and titles. I mean, you can see mine just says actor. That's not terribly impressive. But it's wonderful to be amongst such amazing people within the industry. It's also enormously humbling to believe that anybody wants to listen to anything I have to say. That's always a nice thing to know. And it's also enormously humbling for me to be standing here looking at you, because I see people before me who are going to be taking their first steps towards working in what I believe to be the most influential and potentially the most powerful industry in the world. And that to me is incredibly important. When I was your age, you were about 18, 19, that sort of age? Oh, okay, sorry. When I was a little bit younger than you, I left my village in the countryside in England and I moved to London because I wanted to get away from the countryside. I wanted some action. So I went to university in London and I studied politics. Now, as the introduction said, actually from the youngest age, all I ever remember that I wanted to be was an actor. But when I was at high school and I was studying history, and in England history was compulsory till the age of 14, we were in the last year of studying history, and we were studying 20th century, mostly British history. And so we were looking at World War I and World War II. And as part of that, looking at World War II, we studied a section about the Holocaust. Now, I'm aware, obviously, my education is very British-centric and European-centric, but I'm sure you're probably aware of the Holocaust and what happened. And that was the first time that my eyes were opened to the brutal reality of humanity and how cruel that humans can be. Ironically, that year, I was 14 in 1994, and in that year, I remember sitting at home, having my dinner, watching the news and learning about what was happening in Rwanda at the time, where around 800,000 Tutsi people had been massacred, macheted, most of them, by people they thought were their neighbors and people they thought were their friends. And they had been whipped up to do these things, largely or partly because what they had been told on radio stations in Rwanda, that Tutsi people were cockroaches, that they were vermin. Also, at that time of my life, there was also genocide going on in Europe, in former Yugoslavia, where Croat Muslims were being rounded up, put into concentration camps, and being killed en masse. And so at that point in my life, I thought, why on earth do I want to be prancing around on a stage like some kind of fool? I want to change the world. That was my mentality at the time when I started reading up about other injustices around the world, like the civil rights movement in the United States, apartheid in South Africa, for instance. And I was convinced that the way for me to change the world was to be involved in politics. So that's why I went to London and studied politics. Now, fast forward, I think partly being in London and being around the bright lights and the theatres and everything, I thought, I kind of miss that, you know. But I was still very interested in politics, and although since leaving university I've never directly worked in politics, I have been a teacher for a while and did teach politics, I gradually veered back into the acting. And when I took the risk as a middle-aged man, I moved to India when I was 42. It was probably something of a midlife crisis that I was going through. I thought, yeah, let me take this leap of faith. Let me see how far I can take my acting career in India, see if I can make it in the Indian film industries. When I came here, I'd come to the realization that actually I'd underestimated, when I wanted to study politics, I'd underestimated the power of acting. One of the first jobs I got here in India was in a Marathi film called Shamchi Ai. And I played the role, as I often do, about 50% of the time. I tend to play some kind of British army officer or general, some sadistic, cruel man who worked for the British government in some way. Talk about being typecast. But because there's so many biopics now coming in India. And I remember standing in my vanity and the costume guy came in to change me. And this was the first time I'd ever played that role. And he's putting the uniform on, and I'm looking at myself in the mirror, and they'd already stuck this ridiculous moustache on my face. And so they were putting this uniform on me. And it was particularly when he was down on the floor putting my shoes on. I looked at myself and thought, you could begin to feel the power trip that people from the country I come from had while they were here in India. And I began to think, you know what, it's not just about me loving what I do. There's a real responsibility that I carry with the job that I do here. Because I'm proud to be in India. And many people come to me and they say, why don't you do acting in Hollywood or back in London? I don't want to be doing acting anywhere else. One of the reasons I'm proud to be here in India, because I'm proud to help India tell her story. Because one of the history lessons we didn't have in Britain, in my history lessons, we learnt nothing about India. Nothing. And I don't know whether you're aware, but the British did play a bit of a role in Indian history. And we should have learnt. The only time I ever remember even seeing India in my history books was there was a map of the world, and half of the world was coloured in pink. And we were told that was the British Empire. And it was around when we were learning about World War I and World War II, and we were the victors. We beat those Germans. And even today, you speak to most British people, there is a huge amount of ignorance about the past, particularly being whipped up in the last few years since the Brexit referendum in the United Kingdom. Yes, Britain is a multicultural country. Brilliant. And I love that. When I moved to London, I was exposed to so many different peoples from all around the world, and I love that. But there's still a lot of ignorance. And part of that is because we have this view of our past as being this, as the British Empire as being this golden age of British history. What they don't understand is the brutal reality of what the British did not only in India, but all around the world. The wealth that we stole, the economies that we decimated, the people we suppressed, the people we enslaved, the people we killed who didn't agree with us, who were simply trying to fight for their own rights in their own land. Very few British people know that. So I feel I have a responsibility not only for Indians to understand their own history, but to help India to tell its own story to the world so that other people can understand. Because what I didn't fully appreciate when I questioned my acting career back when I was 14 years old was that actually, yeah, politics is an honourable profession. I believe, you might not believe this, but I believe most people who go into politics do it at the start for good reasons, at least. They go into it because they want to change their society, whatever vision they have for their society. You may not agree with it, but they think it's the best vision and they want to make their society better. Now, along the path of working in politics, they may, be tempted by certain things and veer off that path, whatever. But I think most of them go into it for good reasons. But I would hasten to bet that a Shah Rukh Khan blockbuster film probably gets more viewers than people tuning in to see the Prime Minister speak. And films particularly, but all forms of mass media, but particularly films, they can tug on your heartstrings, on your emotions. I don't know whether Narendra Modi can always do that to the same degree as a blockbuster Hollywood or Bollywood film can do so. Any film can do so. And so you guys are entering into a field, and it's not just about films, mass media generally, where you have enormous potential to change society. But you have a choice. Because you can change society for good, for positive things, or you can use it for other things. And I'm just going to give you a little bit of advice. You don't have to take my advice. This is just one little bit of advice. I do acting because I love doing acting. And I hope you're entering this field, this industry, because you're at least interested in it, if not passionate about it. And that's not, and I hope most people, I would love that everybody loves the job they do. Most people don't. But if you can love the job you do, then people say it never feels like working, which is a privilege. And obviously we have to look after ourselves, we've got to pay our bills, we've got our own ambitions, we want to get somewhere in life for our own, perhaps selfish reasons, but you've got to be. In life you have to be selfish. And that is normal, totally acceptable. But my advice is, as well as pursuing your own personal goals, is, and this is something that really only happened to me since I've been in India, is to also understand how you want to contribute to something bigger than yourself. How you want to contribute to your society. And being in India is an exciting time. You are living in now the most populous country in the world. You are studying in the media, entertainment, financial capital of that country. And India, the Indian economy is growing exponentially. It's having enormous influence around the world. So you are in perhaps one of the most potentially influential positions, studying to work in the most influential industry. So you are going to be real changers, or you have the potential to be real changers in the game. So yeah, my advice is to pursue your goals, but also try and think of something, why you're doing it. What is the reason? What is the change that you want to make? What's the positive impact that you want to have? Now, sometimes, particularly when you're starting out, you may well do things that, veer off that path slightly. I've done adverts for things that I wouldn't necessarily buy myself. I did a film that was enormously controversial because I didn't really know what the film was about, because I'm just a junior actor. I'm not like a big star. I wasn't shown the whole script beforehand. Would I have still done the film if I'd known how controversial it was going to be? I don't know. I'm not against controversy. I think controversy is a good thing sometimes. But I certainly maybe would have questioned it a bit more. So there will be times, particularly, at the start of your career, where you'll do things you think, I don't know whether I really necessarily want to do it, but you will. But always keep that vision in your head. Because you have, and over the next few years, next decade, you're going to have enormous potential, enormous power. So use this 1.5 years to really build your expertise, your knowledge, your skills, your contacts, so that you can help build the country and the world that you're going to be proud of for the next generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. That was truly inspiring and very insightful. So, ladies and gentlemen, with great pleasure, I would now welcome Ruchikaa Kapoor Sheikh to our event today. As a director of original films at Netflix, Ruchikaa has made a remarkable impact on the Indian film industry with her creative vision and leadership. Her journey began in 2010 at Balaji Motion Pictures, where she quickly rose to become the youngest woman to hold the position of a marketing director, showcasing her exceptional talent and drive. A few years later, she grew into the leading film studio and was the creative force behind several successful films, including Urta Punjab, Veere Di Wedding, Ek Villain, Paglet, Laila Majnu, Dream Girl, and these are just a few. Her contributions have not only shaped the narrative of these projects, but also set new standards within the industry. Her tenure at Balaji Motion Pictures earned her accolades such as the Rising Star of the Year at ET Now and the Business Leader of the Year award. As an alma of MET, Institute of Mass Media, we are incredibly proud of Ruchikaa's accomplishments. Her current role at Netflix as Director of Original Films continues to highlight her commitment to storytelling and her dedication to nurturing new talent in the industry. More recently, Netflix India's success has been marked by films that have been put together by her, and these include titles such as Amar Singh Chamkila, Kho Gaye Hum Kahan, and Jaane Jaan. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Ms. Ruchikaa Sheikh. We are thrilled to have you here with us today, and we look forward for your valuable insights.
Thank you. The weight of these introductions is bearing very heavy on my shoulders. I don't think any speech can now rival that, or what Benedict or what anyone here on the dais is going to say or has already said. I'm going to keep mine very conversational. I think I relate to you far more than anybody else here will, because I sat exactly here, in fact, in this very room, possibly on these same chairs, many moons ago. See, I'll be a bit snide, whoever gets it, gets it. But I'm probably going to try and highlight a few things that I took from me from here as a student, and then a little bit about my journey, which apparently is very inspiring. But like I said, please don't let the baggage of any of these introductions get in the way of how you're looking at me, because I truly am one of you. When I started out here, I had dreams in my eyes and hopes in my hearts, and a report card that was not very beaming. Yeah. Most people who sit at the back of a classroom think they have a career in mass media. For me, that was very, very true. So when I stepped in here and I heard that I get to choose between entertainment, journalism, and advertising, those were the only 3 options back then, I was so sure that I wanted to be a journalist. And look how that showed up. So the first thing here was discovery. I learned so much about myself. I was in every classroom, I was in every lecture, I still sat at the back, I still laughed at the teacher, but I kept listening, I kept learning. I kept listening when I was not being taught, I kept looking when I was told not to. I kept myself very, very curious. Because when I got here, I realized that this isn't the first day of my school or my college, it was the first day of my career. And if I don't take my career seriously, how will anybody else? I also discovered along the way that I didn't want to be a journalist. That was a very quick 8 months or 6 months into knowing everything that there was about every other stream. And I very nicely went and said, I wanted to learn entertainment. I'm so grateful to the administration that was reluctant but very gracious to let me take up entertainment thereon. I met some phenomenal teachers, some excellent faculty, a lot of them who had an immensely successful and not so successful body of work. I actually learned a lot from the teachers who hadn't made it. And I remember always telling my mom things like, those who don't really make it teach. But I think the lessons that I picked from that was a handbook for me for the rest of my career. Discovery was the center place, not just discovering what I wanted to be, but who I am, finding my passion. Because for the rest of your life, or at least your working life, you will live with this career. When you sign up for mass media, I don't think they ever tell you that it's not 9 to 5. It's 9 to forever. And you've got to enjoy this 9 to forever. The next thing I took from here was professionalism. I thought mass media was like you dress how you want, you enter, there's background music playing when people see you. None of that happens. Everybody in an office seeks a professional. They look at you for the education you bring, for the perspective you have, and the way you conduct yourself. You wouldn't have seen me like this when I came here the first time. Yeah, I'm not proud of it, but I think it's a journey that I must share with all of you. The third thing I took from here is extraordinary candor. That would also sometimes make me the brat of the class, but I always asked the hard, uncomfortable questions. Initially to maybe sound a little cool, but eventually because I was curious, I was unsure of what I was being taught. And I think the space that this institute gives you is to constantly give feedback, to ask the hard questions. And that is a quality I took to me into my professional journey. I was in rooms with very, very important people I had grown up watching films of or reading articles of. And there may have been an opinion in the room that was the popular opinion. And I had an opinion that was probably unpopular. I didn't shy away from sharing that opinion. But the fact that people say you must be brutally honest is rubbish. You must never be brutally honest. Because it's never good to hear something that is contrary to what the popular opinion is. With great honesty comes a great responsibility to be respectful. So I always respectfully put forward my counterpoint of view. There were times I was proven right, and I wouldn't stop about how I was right. And then there were even more times that I was proven wrong, and I went back and made a quick note of what I'm supposed to learn from that. Now, the most important thing that I took from this institute. This was the last time I sat in a classroom with my friends, and I made the best friends for life. I still have the same 5 friends I made at MET. The day I got married in the peak of COVID with 10 people, they were 5 of those 10 people. When I had my 2 kids, they were the 5 people waiting outside their room. Please remember, make friendships here that last you a lifetime. Because when I go up on that board and I see faces, I've met everyone across an event, at a panel discussion, at a trailer launch event, at a pitch for a film, at someone who's come for a series, at someone who's shooting somewhere. All of us will cross paths. And it's nice to keep it memorable. But it's even more exciting to keep those 5 friends who knew you before you became the monster that you possibly will become. See, this is a good high to end the speech, but I don't learn, so I will still continue. There was excellent campus placement, if I may say so. My first stint at Balaji Motion Pictures came because our wonderful faculty team and administration got the Balaji HR to our campus. I wasn't sure because I thought I will change the world, much like Mahesh has. I thought I will do advertising and I will sell to you and make lots of money. But again, like I said, my focus has been questionable. So I joined Balaji at a time when the studio made very different kind of films, but very successfully so. I started out as a marketing trainee, and I loved every moment of it. I was obsessed, I was passionate. Even if I had to work on an event flow, I would work on it with all my gusto. From there, my journey actually, luckily and fortunately, was quick enough to make me project head for a film, where I continued working on film campaigns like it was the end of the world. I believed when that film opened to 10 crores, it was my sole effort. Some may call it delusion. Maybe it was. but I only focused on what I was doing. I stayed in my lane. I didn't look left. I didn't look right. But you know, when you stay in your lane, you have the ability to look right ahead. And I kept looking right ahead at who I wanted to get to, not who I wanted to beat, but where I wanted to go. Then I became marketing head, and I believed that all those 8 films and that incredible top-line revenue was all because of me. And then films didn't do so well. The studio went through a really, really bad patch, and everybody was moving on. There were many layoffs. Layoffs also kind of question you and your ability and where you stand. I was probably the only person, because they realized that no matter what, I will always have my blinds on. And that's when, in the biggest failure of the studio's life, did I see my opportunity. I became the studio head. I put together films, some of which she's named, some of which I will never name, because why should I? And they went on to become hugely successful. I only always talk about the successful ones outside, but I always say I don't think I ever failed. I think I learned, and I learned quietly and very quickly. And the studio was back after 7 years of me putting incredible films together, befriending many people, continuously networking, having zero personal life. I decided to get married. And a lot of people were happy. And I was very alarmed, because I felt like most women in the workforce, that would mean I would have to slow down, that I would have to stop. But that didn't happen. I actually took on the mantle of being head of Netflix when my child was 10 months old. It was delusional to think I could be leading original films for a corporate multinational, considering I had come from a homegrown talent studio like Balaji. But they say pregnancy makes you crazy, so I'm just blaming it on my kids. And then I had another one, and I made even more films than I've made ever before. The one thing that changed from the time I was at Balaji to the time I'm at Netflix is at Balaji, I actually went to every director, every new writer, every struggler to hear their story. Dream Girl, 150 crore film, didn't happen to the company because someone came and pitched it to us. It's because I went to find television writers when film writers didn't want to work with a smaller, sort of controversial studio. And when I came to Netflix, everybody who's ever thought of an idea wanted to come and pitch. Feels so good to say that. The one thing I felt I was consistent in was in the same amount of respect I gave to someone who was 100 film old and someone who was 1 film old. And that will always hold you in good state with whoever you work with. See, again, I should end, but I'm not going to. I think the goodwill that I carry with a lot of the people I've worked with is because I've always been respectful. Even when they've turned around and asked me to leave their office or leave the room or bang the phone on me or cut the call, I have been relentless. I am that annoying person who will not stop till I don't get what I want, or at least till you don't hear me. You can still shut the door on my face, but I will get my word right in. And I'm going to actually share an anecdote that I didn't think I will, but I remember when I was doing Laila Majnu, it took me 4 years to get Imtiaz Ali to agree to write that story. The film is a disaster, of course, as most of you know. If digital media was as big as it was today, it would have become a cult film. And in spite of the colossal loss, I continued harboring a certain relationship with him, his company, the writers who were relatively newer. And when I moved, and I knew they had a story called Amar Singh Chamkila that absolutely nobody in our industry wanted to make. I picked up the phone, and I was 2 weeks into my new job, and I said, hey, do you still have that story that nobody wants to make? I think I should make it. And that's how the film happened. And the reason I say this is because different people at different points in time will be important, but what is important that you must always be respectful for them. The industry is this small. The egos are that big. Everyone remembers a bad day. No one remembers a good day. Yeah, I mean, that's it. I just want to say all the best to all of you. Please, keep the drive going. I don't want to say don't change, because I think if I looked at myself 10 years back, you would have seen, my hair was curlier. I was slightly more rough around the edges. I played every sport the college had to offer. I did every fashion show, I did every festival like Metamorphosis, I did everything. I never wanted to go home, because for me, the financial point that I came from my family, I had to make it. I didn't have an option, I didn't have a choice. And I now wear that with a badge of honor. I think I did kind of slide that under the carpet because I felt like, no, no matter what, everyone should see me for who I am. But I think our struggles really do make us. I didn't have an option to not succeed. I have to keep a job. I have to run my house. That's how I started. A few years down, I realized that a job is a job, but I've got to always be true to myself. I leave you all with lots of hope, lots of happiness, and please don't ever lose your sense of humor. It's the only thing that keeps you going when you don't have the money to pay your bills. Thank you, and that was my cue to end.
Thank you, Ruchika. That was really lovely. All right, it is a very, very proud moment to have with us here today a highly acclaimed theatre, film, and a television actor who has been working in the entertainment industry for the last 30 years, Mr. Amit Behl. His passion for the theatre began in 1984, and after working in the corporate field and pursuing theatre part-time, he became a full-time actor in 1994 with India's first daily soap, Shanti, for which he has received numerous accolades. Throughout his illustrious career, Amit Sir has received numerous accolades including prestigious Rashtra Shakti Award, Zee Rishte Award, Onida Best Debut Award, Bengal Film Journalist Award, and Screen Awards. With over 150 television serials in various languages to his credit, he has also appeared in numerous international shows and worked with international actors. He has also worked in over 150 feature films, 100 ads, and has been a regular voice-over artist. Apart from his acting career, Amit Sir has been an active member of the entertainment industry's governing bodies. He has served as an honorary joint secretary of CINTAA from 2015 to 2021 and is currently serving as an honorary general secretary. He has also represented India in the International Federation of Actors, which represents 83 countries. In addition, he has been an official delegate from India to the International Labour Organization, ILO, where he discusses issues faced by performing artists and workers in the media and entertainment industry. He is a distinguished speaker who has delivered multiple TEDx talks around the world. He's frequently invited by various institutions and organizations across the globe to teach on topics such as culture, entertainment, business on India media, and content mapping across all platforms of media and entertainment. Furthermore, he is a member of the Governing Council of the Media and Entertainment Skill Council, that's MESC, which is a part of India's government's Skill India movement. Appreciating the extensive experience and contributions to the industry, please welcome Mr. Amit Behl on stage, who is a true icon of the world of entertainment.
That was a desperate introduction, Ruchikaa. That was something. Well, it's good afternoon now. After having heard Dr. Sarkar and Benedict and Mohit and Ruchikaa, I've got very little stuff to say, and I think I'm going to be meeting you folks on Tuesday, 11 to 1. So 2 hours of very boring talk on careers in the field of media and entertainment by an old Amit Behl. So that's why I'm going to make it very short. Well, it's really, really interesting to hear these journeys, and I'm looking forward to hearing Bobby and Mash, because some advertising is something that I aspired to be in, but I failed miserably, and that's why I'm in the field of media and entertainment. Anyway, so, I call myself a failed engineer and a failed management graduate because although I was a topper at the Indian Institute of Foreign Trade in Delhi, which is a prestigious institute, and at the RAIT, part of the D.Y. Patil University, of the gold medalist from Bombay University in electronics engineering, and having specialization in biomedical electronics. Here I am peddling characters and also peddling stories now, and also selling media and entertainment to aspiring students like you. Well, the fact is that I'm not going to talk about my journey, which I will on Tuesday, but there's something that triggered me off. This was in the year 2008. I was the only Indian, apart from another Indian actress who's now living in America, Nandana Sen, and we were working with Sean Bean from Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings, and we were doing a series called Sharps. And I had all these people who looked like Benedict, who spoke like Benedict, and they were all from England and from Hollywood, and they'd look at me. And this is something that, like how Benedict from England has come to India, this was my first experience as an Indian actor working in a very big ITV, BBC international project within all theatre, television, film star cast from the US and from UK, and there were other people who settled world over. And it was rather unfortunate. We started shooting it in a place called Orchha in Madhya Pradesh, and then we moved to Khajuraho. Now, Sean Bean was this huge guy, you know, Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings, and and these, I was playing, you'll be surprised, I was playing a British officer. Yeah. So, these guys came to India to cast for a character called Lance Naik Singh and a Subedar Pillai. And both these characters were done by Asian actors who were actually living in the UK. They never came here to cast for a British actor in India who's not even white. I was fortunate because they were looking for, I don't know if you've, I'm sure people who watch a lot of cinema have heard of this actor called Sir Pete Postlethwaite. He's a great British actor who's played the father in The Name of the Father. He was bald. Okay, so they were looking for his illegitimate child who was suddenly discovered in India. He's an Anglo-Indian. I was young and I was bald. And I could speak English. Yeah. And I didn't know who Sean Bean was. He was an international star, and I said no to the part. When John Hubbard, one of England's biggest casting directors, came all the way from England to cast, and Tom Clegg, who directed Mountbatten The Last, Viceroy, was directing this huge series, which was in its 11th or 12th season, which has made a lot of big actors, actors like Toby Stevens and Padma Lakshmi, and you had a lot of international actors who become huge stars out of the series, and I didn't even know the series existed. Why I'm talking about all this is because how people thought about India, and you had these British actors and the American actors who started talking to me about Shakespeare. They started talking to me about Stanislavski. They started talking to me about brand management and Ogilvy and stuff like that, as if, they still thought that we were a land of snake charmers. We had fakirs, we had flying carpets, we still did black magic. And the best thing about India that they really liked was the Kama Sutra. And I started talking to them in the Queen's English. I started talking to them about computers, about how rich our theatre is, our field of media and entertainment is. I told them that we produce more content, putting all our languages and mediums together, 5 times the kind of content that the United States of America produces. The US exports 2 things, Hollywood and arms. Okay? We produce more content. Unfortunately, our content doesn't reach there. That got me thinking that how do I project the Indian face of media and entertainment across the globe? It really got me thinking. I'm an engineer, I'm an MBA, I can speak the Queen's English, I'm well read, I've worked on projects as a creative, I've written stuff, but how do I contribute? And how do we actually get across? Because in 2008, we only knew that late Om Puri, Saeed Jaffrey, maybe a couple of other Indian actors, Bhanu Athai had just got an Oscar, Satyajit Ray had been awarded an Oscar, and Dilip Kumar was offered the role of Lawrence of Arabia, which he refused. How do we make a contribution? This is when the late Irfan Khan started making a very big dent in international cinema in Hollywood. We had Lagan, which was already nominated in the Best Foreign Films category. And it was important that I make this minuscule contribution, being a small actor, starting with sharps and making myself felt, my presence felt, and I've been doing that till now, and luckily nobody's kicked me out of the room. I'm still trying to make a presence felt, and I'll continue to do so as part of the Media and Entertainment Skill Council, as part of CINTAA, as part of India's representation to the International Federation of Actors. 2010, I started as a visiting faculty with V School. They have a PGDM in Media and Entertainment where I started teaching art, culture and entertainment. Then I started teaching content mapping for film, TV, radio and web and the business of Indian media. And like Ruchikaa said that she had to attend every lecture, though as a backbencher. She had to attend every event to grasp, absorb maximum, because I'm sure when she passed out, social media was not that wow and that big like it is today. You folks are really, really, really fortunate. And I'm glad that you're here because you're in Bandra, which used to be the center of the film industry, Mehboob Studios next door. Okay? And whenever you get depressed, you can always walk down and go to Galaxy Apartments or Mannat and see, मैं भी यहाँ पर पहुँचूँगा या पहुँचूँगी. And I'm sure you will, 100%. And it's not only as an actor. When I talk about the field of media and entertainment is huge. Now look at me as I stand in front of you. I teach on media and entertainment. I produce content. I deliver TED Talks. I'm creating content. I'm acting. I'm teaching acting. I'm teaching people on media and entertainment. I'm balancing my life. I have a family to look after and I shave my hair every day. So many things only a media and entertainment professional or an advertising professional can do, with due regard to people on the dais. So what I'm saying is that it's a great field to be in. Like Mohit said, don't look at yourself as employees, look at entrepreneurs. The Media and Entertainment Skill Council has started something called the MECAT. It's a Media and Entertainment Aptitude Test. Slowly, every institute worth its salt is starting a media and entertainment course in broadcast media and mass media and basic entertainment, the field of AVGC, the field of performing arts, the field of creative arts. I'm sure there are a lot of Ruchika's colleagues who must have come from a mass comm background. Big studios need people like you. Big production houses need people like you. They need fresh blood. They need fresh ideas. They need disruptors. And it's very important for people like us sitting on this dais with years of experience to give that to you so you're able to disrupt, create a positive disruption for people like us so that we also get shaken up from our slumber that no, whatever you've learned in 30 years, unlearn, come back to the storyboard and attack the industry with the freshness. The fact that you are in Mumbai city, which is the center of media and entertainment, but COVID has also taught us a lot of things. There is a lot of scope for doing a lot of work in the virtual space. We all know about what Zoom and WebEx and Google Meet and Skype did with us, and that's how stuff is happening. You will be working on international projects in your internship or in your first jobs and dealing with people world over. I interact with 87 countries because I represent India in the Federation of International Actors. And last year when I was in Geneva, we had the first tri-party conference between governments, employers and employees working in the field of media and entertainment. And you'll be surprised. We are better off in India in the field of media and entertainment than most of the developed countries in the world. Their conditions are appalling, which is a fact. I mean, which also brings somebody from, an England, a trained actor, to work in our country, which means he definitely respects that this is a industry that is growing. It needs people like me, not just because I'm fair and I speak the Queen's English. is because international talent is being recognized. We are being recognized abroad. We all know what Rajamouli did at the Oscars. And it's going to happen more and more and more. People like you are going to be CEOs, CCOs, head honchos of production houses. Some of you may branch off into being screenwriters, visualizers, become filmmakers. Some of you might be aspiring actors. Some of you would like to wear multiple hats. But a basic education in the field of media and entertainment, backed by an institution like this, with a great faculty, and the zeal to learn, never stop learning. Like Ruchika said, 1, never stop learning. B, never stop disrupting. C, keep your ego aside. You'll always be successful. And D, don't harbor grudges. Your career in the field of media entertainment as a sponge will help you become what you wish to achieve, because coming to the field of media entertainment is not what a conventional parent would like the kids to do. Doctor, engineer, chartered accountant. Even in the field of media and entertainment, either you get into advertising or get into the audio, video, gaming, animation field. But believe me, every craft and every contribution of every M&E professional is more than valuable for all of us. So looking forward to speaking to all you guys on Tuesday and wishing you all the best here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That was so beautifully explained. We would now like to extend our welcome to Mr. Bobby Pawar. He is a storyteller, poet, and one of India's most awarded advertising creative personalities. He is a 2-time Copywriter of the Year and award winner. IAA India's Chapter's Agency Leader of the Year in 2022. Campaigns Asia's Creative Person of the Year for India and South Asia in 2011. His path-breaking work has been featured in Museum of Modern Art in New York. He has been nominated for Emmy. He has won a national award. He has created famous campaigns that build big brands in the United States of America and India. He has led the resurgence of the creative product and the bottom line of several agencies. He has been the creative director and senior partner at Ogilvy India and New York, Chief Creative Officer of DDB Mudra, Chief Creative Officer and Managing Partner of JWT, Managing Director and again Chief Creative Officer of Public Works Worldwide. Mr. Pawar is a former Chairman and Chief Creative Officer of Havas Group. Please join me to extend a warm welcome to Mr. Bobby Pawar.
Yeah, thanks for the glowing introduction. Now I feel I can identify with the girl who is in the Fair and Lovely ad, yeah? All these young people don't get that freaking reference. I feel good about it. All right. So, anyway, right, so I'm going to spend the next 5 minutes trying to live down this introduction, right? What she didn't mention is I'm a dropout. College dropout, right? Engineering college dropout. Did 3 years, didn't make it to the 4th year. And I did fairly all right? So, all you learned people should do better than that. No, but hey, no freaking pressure, right? I'm going to tell you a couple of things, right? From the shit that I learned from, am I allowed to curse a little bit? Because if I'm not, then I'll have to stop talking. Yeah, it's like, I'm a firm believer in the days that it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. So that's why I curse first and ask permission later, right? So, yeah, I've been fortunate to have amazing teachers, right? Like you said, I got into advertising completely by accident. I was always a writer, but in school, if you like alcohol and then you don't have the money for it, but you're pretty good with words, then you learn to write love letters for friends and say, hey, daru pilayega to main tere liye likhta hai. And so that's kind of how I got my start into, hey, man, I can write this shit. So, and yeah, writing ads I felt like an extension of that, right? I got into it because, hey, I thought I could do it, and it seemed like a good way to at least make a living and do what I really want to do is have money for cigarettes and alcohol, right? And have a good time. So Mahesh and I, we are old hands at this kind of thing. But I'll tell you one, it's just having learned that, I didn't dream that I'd work abroad and work on some of this thing. I've worked with Snoop Dogg and Shaq, Sting, Mariah Carey. Oh, I mean, there's some amazing stories of all these people, a whole lot of people, all these celebrities here, right? You don't think that, right, coming from the background that I did. But if you learn, right, your knowledge will take you places. And the thing is, the knowledge, what do you learn, what do you bring to the classroom, you should bring to life, right? Because if you are in media and entertainment or advertising, all the insights you'll get that fuel your stories, your business acumen are out there in the world, right? I'm a shameless eavesdropper. When my wife and I go to a restaurant, right, we don't talk about our lives. We eavesdrop on the conversation that happened in the district, and we invent backstories for all of them. Right? So that's the thing. Oh, they're talking about this. This must have happened, right? We're still married, so I guess that shit works. Right? So, be curious about the world. I think Ruchikaa mentioned that. Curiosity is the biggest thing, right? The other thing I'm going to tell you, and that tells you how old I am, even more so than the white hair on my head, is read. Okay? Even more than watching movies and seeing, read. Because the words on a page, they force you to imagine things, right? Because, when you read a story, right, when you see a movie, the actor, the hero is always Shah Rukh Khan. When you read a book, right, the hero can be whoever you want it to be. It can even be you, right? Fiction has some of the greatest lessons in the world, right? You don't believe me? There's a reason why Valmiki wrote Ramayana as a story and not as the 10 Commandments of Valmiki, right? There's a reason why Bhagavad Gita, Shakespeare's books, all of them have a lesson to be learned, right? The reason why the fairy tales have a moral of the story, right? Because all of them tell you something. You will only go as far as not your knowledge, but your imagination takes you, and the belief in that imagination, right? If you imagine yourself as something, right? If you imagine that you can make a difference in this world, right? You will. But only if you believe in it and you are willing to bleed for it. None of this shit is easy. If you believe stuff is easy, give up, get married to somebody rich right now. Right? Because that's the only way you're going to have a good life. Right? The people who always make it are the people who are willing to go to lengths that most people don't. Right? People, I mean, a lot of youngsters, till I was still in corporate life, I used to work with a lot of the young people, right? Because the older people, they didn't, I didn't want to hang out with them, right? Because they don't push back. It's more fun for me because you learn a lot as well, right? Because you guys live a very different life from what I do, and I'm always curious. And the other thing is purely as father of 2 teenagers, right? I want to know more cool shit before they did. So, that's a purely selfish thing. But a lot of people talk about work-life balance, right? Because when your work is your life, that's all the balance you need. And especially when you do something like advertising and media and telling stories, right? Man, you got to be obsessed with that. There's no other way. Greatness comes from obsession, right? I mean, Einstein didn't say, hey, you know what, I think I should step away from the blackboard even when I'm on a run. Like, you know, everything's just flowing right through me because you know what? Work-life balance. I've got to go hit the pub right now. You don't do that, right? And that's kind of the way it's at. And the thing is, even when you're great at something, do not be afraid to walk away. Last year, it's like I walked away and I said, like, screw it, I'm done. I'm going to just sit right and just go back to, you know, as a 15-year-old, 16-year-old kid in college, hustling to write stuff, right? Just for myself. And people call me an idiot, which is true. There's no this thing, like I don't this thing. But it's made me happy, right? And you always have to push yourself outside your comfort zone, right? Remember this one thing, yeah? If you remember anything from what I said, right? Except shaitan on that, because you already know that. There are other more unpalatable words, but I won't use them today. Remember that every comfort zone eventually becomes a prison, right? The other thing you should remember is try to imbibe, read, live interesting things, because you know your work will be only as interesting as the person you become. And you know why that's important? Because people are only will be interested in you and the work that you create if you and the work you create are interesting. Otherwise, you'll be like one of the many freaking ships in the night that sail away without the lights on. Cool, thanks, yeah.
Thank you, sir. That was lovely. We would now like to give a warm welcome to Mr. Mahesh Chauhan. So, thoda sa. Nice.
This is one of the most fun guys I've ever worked with. Yes. And we've done some pretty insane shit together.
All right. Mahesh sir is the founder director of Salt Brand Solutions, a renowned advertising creative agency. Mr. Chauhan is an industry leader who has demonstrated history of building successful brands and businesses. Skilled in integrated marketing, advertising, brand architecture, market research, and brand management. He is a BTech from IIT Bombay, but he has found his calling in building iconic brands. With 30 years of experience in hands-on advertising, brand management, and general management, Mahesh sir is one of the most well-known names in the advertising industry in India. His career involves working across both MNCs and Indian companies and with large global networks like Ogilvy, Rubicam, Leo Burnett, to name a few. He's a former group CEO of Rediffusion, Young and Rubicam across India, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh. He's a co-author of the modern global Ogilvy 360 model. He's a creator of brands like Amaron, Bajaj Pulsar, Airtel, Himalayan, etc. Please, Mahesh sir, do grace us with your wisdom on the stage, and the stage is yours.
See, all the good things that had to be said have been said. Okay, so and anyway, I'm last, and I don't know how he knew, but I love the last position. I've been a backbencher all my life. Right, I don't go by IIT, and I think one of the things when I was thinking of my speech, I said, "Kya bolunga? Sab badi badi cheeze bol rahe." And I had prepared a speech, so I've abandoned it. Okay. And I said, let me do something else. You know, there is too much pressure to succeed on all of you. This success is becoming like one sword that's hanging on all your heads. And I think it's a disaster. Right? So I want to talk about failures. Right? And what I would like to do, just tell you that, and I'll tell you my IIT story also, is that my friends who are now teaching students, guiding students, mentoring them, actually take my example and say, us gadhe se seekho. Right? So, this is the story of successful failures, as I call it. And I'll begin by telling you the story of my brother, who I'm very proud of. He was a disaster in mathematics. Right? So, my father, who's MA in history and, why is it echoing? My father, who was MA in history and English literature, said, I will teach him maths for class 10. For 6 months, that poor fellow was taught maths 4 hours a day. Because of which his ICSE got destroyed, he got 48 marks in maths out of 100. Because he had no aptitude for maths. Then eventually my father gave up and said, chalo, chalo, now let him do arts. He topped the state. And guess what? He got into civil service in attempt 1. He is India's ambassador to Jordan today as we speak. So, but the story is of his failure in class 10 when he was 78%. And in those days, 78 was, even then, was a disaster marks. Even I got 80. You know, but come 12th, he was 94% state topper and civil services ranked 63 all India. So the thing is to take these failures, you know, Jordan's famous saying, right? I succeed because I've failed 9,000 times or whatever that saying is. But that's the whole story. How do you embrace failure? So I'll tell you my story. Third attempt to IIT. Why? Because my father said, you're a spoilt brat, tere kuch nahi ho sakta hai. My father was a civil servant, by the way. Right? So he wanted me to be a civil servant, which was a disaster. No chance. So somehow, attempt 1, I didn't know what IIT JEE was. I wrote the exams. Dad said, kaisa hua? Borderline case. Dad, maybe I'll get through. That was the standard line for 2 years. Obviously, I knew I wasn't getting through. Year 2, again I attempted. Unfortunately, I had an accident. Couldn't write the exam. But basically, year 2 also failed. Now, third attempt. By this time, all my batch is second year BTech or first year BTech. And I've been left behind. Left behind to be alone at 18, 19 years of age when I was very fragile. Emotionally, you are still very, very fragile. And that is the age when I didn't lose faith in myself. I went and wrote Allahabad University entrance. I was in Allahabad. I topped the entrance of university. Gaya hi nahi class mein. Ab to IIT karke hi dega. Right. Then third attempt, finally, all India 1353. I remember my rank. I don't know how I got in. Till today, I don't know how I got in. I have zero aptitude for technology. And incidentally, I have a published paper on superconductivity, which is not part of my biodata. Okay? So it's still there somewhere in the global journals that Mahesh Chauhan actually did work on superconductivity. You ask me what it is, I have no idea. Right? So I got into IIT, and that to me actually has defined my character till date, because after that I said impossible is nothing. So now I've gotten into IIT. Bhaiyaji has come to Mumbai. Father said, if you want to really grow in life, get away from home. So I chose Bombay over Kanpur. I also wanted to be a hero in those days. Never happened. I did theater, and naukri lag gayi. Yeah. So I joined IIT. First semester, I really studied hard. I got 6.75 on 10, which is okay, man, you're not bottom. And my neighbor who was playing flute the night before the exam topped the year. And he's like, MC, whenever we were done, just slip the book under the partition. So I slipped the book at 2:30 in the morning, 2:45 it comes back. He's revised the course in 15 minutes. I have slogged for the whole semester. He got A grade, I got D. I said, yahan nahi hoga. Now what do? Semester 1 is done. There are 7 more semesters to be tortured with engineering. I said, I'll become topper of everything else. So I became IIT's first and only non-academic student. I finished at 5.4, I think, or something like that, and most of those marks are because I was an expert at cogging. But what that school taught me, so I passed out as best hostelite, I was into theater, I was into quizzing, into debating, jam, you name it, everything I used to do, inter-IIT, I would represent IIT at Malhar, in Delhi, in Pilani, in Chennai, etc., everything I did. What is the moral of the story? Ye jo success is actually never defined for you. Where you will succeed is not defined for you. Right? She wanted to do journalism. She succeeded in films. Right? Bobby Pawar didn't know what he wanted. I don't know how he started writing English also. I know him for a long, long time. Bugger can write, man. Amit is engineer, MBA, whatever, IFT, Delhi, which is India's top foreign trade institute, by the way. Right? Actor hai. Gwalior se mera purana rishta hai, 59%. Unfortunately, I was the victim of 80%, so I had to do bloody engineering. Yeah. But so the one line I want to leave you with is, what you study does not matter. It's how you study. Stop being a student. And I'm saying it in front of the big boss that I hate students here. From today, just drop that word from your vocabulary, become a learner. Love your failures, yeah. Right. And the third thing is, curiosity has been spoken about. One last thing, and I think she dwelt on it. This world is too unhappy here. Take yourself lightly. Don't be so serious, you're worth nothing. We're all worth nothing. Just take yourself lightly, you'll be happy for the rest of your life. Good luck and congratulations to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That was truly inspiring. So as we conclude the inaugural ceremony, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to all who have contributed to making this a success. First, a heartfelt thank you to our esteemed trustee, Pankaj Bhujbal sir and Vishakha Bhujbal ma'am, for your unwavering support and gracing us with your presence. Your vision and commitment are truly inspiring. We are also deeply grateful to our Dean, Dr. Sarkar, for your insightful introduction of the new batch and for your steadfast leadership. Your dedication, academic excellence continues to shape our institution. To our distinguished guest speakers, Mohit sir, Benedict sir, Amit sir, Mahesh sir, Bobby sir, and Ruchikaa. First. We are deeply grateful for your time and valuable insights. Your words have undoubtedly left a lasting impact on our students, and we are honored to have you here. Lastly, a special thanks to the entire mass media team for the meticulous planning and execution of our event today. Your hard work and dedication behind the scenes have been crucial in bringing the ceremony to life. Also, a big thank you to the Marcom team, the ERP and networking team, and the maintenance team. To all our students, we wish you a successful and a fulfilling journey ahead. We hope you make the most of the opportunities that lie before you. Thank you all once again for being here and making this occasion a truly memorable one. So as we conclude, I'm pleased to inform you that the lunch has been arranged for everybody. We kindly request all the students and the student volunteers to proceed to the canteen on the 5th floor. Lakshman sir will be there to guide you all. Also remember, please come back at 2:30 sharp. I would like you to assemble here at least by 2:15 because we start the next session at 2:30. And for the esteemed trustees, deans, and all the dignitaries, there's a special arrangement that has been made on the 7th floor, and we would really love you to join us there. Thank you. Have the rest of the day. Well, yeah. Please come up on the stage for a group picture, please. Yes. I would request all our guests to please take a group picture with all our students.